Hello everyone. This is not the video I was planning on making. I recorded a video just going over my A5 for next year in the Sterling Common Planner. I didn't like that video and I didn't like the direction of what I was doing. So I had been hinting at a B6, and this video is not going to be anything final because I need more time. But I'm like part of the way through these, and there's something that I'm kind of like trying to connect the pieces to see, like, maybe I'm not trying to, like, what's it called? Crowd, like, get ideas from people. I welcome ideas from people. So if anyone has any ideas during this video, please put them in the comments below. I'm more than happy to think about them, and that might even allow me to have another idea. I'm also a little flustered because I'm like coming up on a health deadline and I'm trying to get this done in time. I have a very full week if you've seen my previous plan with me's, and I'm kind of doing this last minute. But I really wanted to have some kind of video midweek here because I've been watching some other videos. I've been like kind of searching around, and as I'm saying, like, something's not clicking yet, but there's pieces here that are. And so that's what I'm trying to figure out. I love the creative uses of like a structured page or system or setup being used in a new way. And so none of this that I have set up right now is very revolutionary at all. It actually is just, I got some holidays in, I got some like month labels in, and that's about it. I'm trying to figure out, like, where do I want my goals? I want them in one of these, and I want one to be kind of like business and the other be personal. So I'm going to start with this one because that's what I filmed first, and it did not come out how I wanted. So, and you'll never see that footage. So I just have the Common Planner with, this is actually just a clear cover. It wasn't one of Catherine's covers, although I do have one and it does fit, but I just wanted to keep it simple. I tried some fantastic designs. I do have some of the ones that, flowers and moons and stuff on. I couldn't do it. I needed something simpler. There was something about having like really plain everything. And I think some people are just kind of craving that, like, just edited down just a little bit more. Some people, and I think others are into maximalism, giving, totally personalizing. I think definitely going into this year, I see a much wider range of uses of people using their planners in different ways. And maybe that's what the key thing is going into this next year, is that there's going to be creativity in how people are reimagining everything within the confines of systems that are pre-printed. I've been watching a lot of like, what are the trends going to be this year? I think there's just going to be more variety. Like, honestly, I see rings popping up. I see discs popping up. I see just, like how far, like the Hobonichi, Sterling Inks, Papertess, RSL, like all those, like there's just so much variety out there. And it is hard to like narrow it down and think like, well, which one's going to work for me? And I had that problem too. It was really helpful I thought I was going to use some TN sizes, and it was helpful to go, nope, that is not in my purview. It's just not something that just resonates. And I think it's really about resonating. I think it's really about resonating. I think it's really about resonating. And 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 that it just, something feels a little natural about it. Something feels a little easy about it and provides ease. And I think that's what people are searching for. That's like, once they kind of feel, and it can be kind of like for flow as well, like what is easily flowable into your already existing systems that you have in your mind, systems that you have for, like, do you always write out a list first thing in the morning? Do you always have a running weekly list? Do you immediately look at a full month? Each one of those is so individualized, like each one of those. And I think when you haven't stumbled upon which one of those works best for you, you kind of have to try things and see. And I'm just talking about with these covers here. But I did want to share, like with Dandelion Diaries, I did just tuck these in here. These are just 2 stickers that I really liked. But yeah, like going into here, on all my like yearly calendars, I circle when my infusions are. I have Crohn's and I need to have infusions every 8 weeks. And that's what I had last year. We'll see if that sticks going forward, but at least I kind of can plan out a little bit to that level. So a lot of people use this for like birthdays and travel and paydays and so many different uses. But for me, I need to know when my energy is going to like wax and wane. So, and I still have I had a hysterectomy, so I still have hormonal cycles. They don't drain me as much as they once did. And I kind of need to see that a little bit as well. That to me is more digital, so that I can kind of see it when I'm kind of putting in future appointments. I may include that here. I don't know. But for me, the only thing, like the number one thing, is just seeing like, okay, on January 22nd next year, I'm going to have like the rest of that week, I'm going to be tired. So I just kind of need to know that much. And I guess, I mean, like monthly cycles would be kind of helpful. So I do have that in multiple planners. I have it, and then I have a whole dedicated health planner. I have done like some kind of inspiration vision board here before. I'd have to look at my old one. I haven't even looked at it. I actually started off in a Moxie Life last year and swapped around April-ish. So it's already packed away. I haven't even looked. I'm like, do I really want to look back on it? Do I just want to move forward? And here, I'm not sure. Some people have been putting like splitting these in half and like putting like the actual months here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, it can go up to 12. So you can have like November, December down here, and you can like see what you need to do. I thought that was kind of clever. I have also used this for like, this column was last year, this column is next year. So like 2025 in this one. And then these 3 columns on either side. So 6 columns are like, for me, it was a bunch of medical visits. I wanted to see how many times I needed. When was the last time I went to the dentist, and when did they take x-rays, right? They don't take them every time. So just some ideas there. This one I see so many people struggling with, and I have tried to use this as well. When I see success here, I see like somebody using it. Well, when I resonate with the success that I've seen, like what inspires me the most is like people using this for very small goals, like very just like singular or a couple. And but if it's your only planner and then you can track a bunch of things, I think you can easily take advantage of tracking multiple things in here and just have like one for each of these columns here. Just write in like, hey, I drank water and stuff. I could never have that work for me because I needed it in a different place. So I don't know what I'm going to use these for. I did get started and I put December in here because for me, it helps, especially with medical billing, to see like what were the carryover, like when were our last health appointments, so that when it comes January, I can see that. So I just put this one in here, and I just have been like mirroring, making sure that's kind of in both. And then I went through and I just put some, like I have been putting in health appointments that are, a couple months out. I have, appointment in March here. So I usually use monthlies this way of just like, where are those appointments? I don't put the times because those go in my weekly. So if I go to March here, I've put in what time that particular one has occurred. So I did put in some really like small holiday in here, holiday stickers, and then marked off like my infusions are in pink, the kind of greeny blue, I guess they're a sage is what it was called, in for like my son's days off. And then I put scripts in both of these. This one I think is Love Charmaine, I believe. I can link it down below. And then I have Dandelion Diaries in this one. So I just wanted to add like a little bit, but keep it really simple. And so I went through that and I put those in. And I love how this is down here. I have them the other way in my other one. So this to me gives some really good stability. But I'm just like, there's something calling me in this B6, and I'll show you in a moment, of like, I love this layout. This has been home since April, of just like this layout. It's very familiar to me because I was in Moxie Life and I came over. I do need to see time blocks, and the times that are actually listed work really well. I usually like segment this part off, and I just have to-do lists down here, and just seeing the whole week at once is really, really helpful. So this, to me, that stability is really wonderful. But I'm still missing like, where else can I put some info? And so, I have a note section. I won't be doing dailies because dailies were too much for me last year. I ordered this during the pre-orders. And so I thought, oh yeah, because I was doing dailies at the time. And now I'm like, no, I don't have time for that. And my dailies are really short, and I had pre-numbered and put like, it wasn't that I could just maybe do a couple days per page. So I'm learning this year, no tabs back here, because this works for me, right? This is something that really resonates with me. So I'm just going to start out with like notes, and maybe if I just need to make like a daily to-do list, like it'll just like fill up as needed. I did put a couple things in the back. One, Magic the Gathering release dates. I just needed to see these. I'm a nerd, so, And then I just put a little, like, I just put some words back here to like any books that I hear recommended, podcasts, movies, shows, recipes, and I think restaurants. There's like some restaurants, and that's it. Like, I didn't put anything else here. I thought maybe these are they're vertical stickers, but the numbers are sideways. And I thought, well, maybe I could put some trackers back here, and I still may, but I don't know what yet. I don't know what. And then, since you already saw it, this, you're like, well, what is this over here? So this is a booklet that I started. And again, I have this whole front area where I could use it for something else. But I was making this into like a food planner. And I've just penciled in some things. It's messy. It's out of date. But I'm trying to see if this would help. Just having monthly. And then I've seen some like really cool, like almost using this as a whole planner. Like just having some things back here as like trackers and things, and having your monthly, and like this is all you need. Because honestly, I think this 12, 14, or $16, I don't remember how much this was, could be enough for like, that's it. Like you wouldn't need like anything else. And I find that really fascinating too. So I put this in here for food planning. We'll see. I like that it's all written in pencil. If I need to erase everything, I can. So, but I did want to show this. So I get all my covers used, in case you're wondering. This was, I get primarily Moterms, but I got this one and it didn't have the insert in it. So I don't remember what it's called, but it's the one where you can put the pen in here and then it comes with like a rings, separate rings thing. And that went off into the ether. Who knows where it's at? Maybe it got destroyed. And I thought, okay, I would love to use it. I feel like the color is really nice and everything. So I put my Papertess in here. And then I also got a B6, same booklet. And I'm wondering about this for social media. I really like, you know, I don't know, something about this that feels really good for like a social media. The A5 seems a little too big. The smaller sizes seem a little too small. So this kind of feels nice. So I'm wondering about like, can this be my work planner? And pretty much all I have in here right now is just some sticky notes right here. They're Paper Minty Studio. And again, all I've done on these front parts here is just see where my infusions are at. Like that's it. If this turns into a work planner though, I would love to list out like my social media numbers or subscribers and stuff like that. I have done that in the past. I have no idea what I'm putting here. I feel like because there's less here, because there aren't like a whole bunch of goals areas, it keeps it more simple. And then I just put, December is in here as well. I was trying out like the side here, and then I put, these are Dandelion Diaries. So I didn't really like sticker this up much because I wanted to just get a little feel for it. And yeah, it definitely introduced me to this. This is my first year using Papertess. I love the design. There's something starting to resonate. And maybe if I'm using that word too much, I'm sorry. But that's congruency. Maybe congruency. There's just something that's kind of speaking to me about this. And so this I wanted to have for December is my actions and reflections, which is from Moxie Life and those goals. So I just have like key things I wanted to do, and then I'm going to reflect at the end of the month for that. I'm just using the Midori index, the metal ones, because I didn't want them to be permanent. I may end up just only having like 4 at a time and taking these out. I do need to thumb through months sometimes for appointments. So it's important to me to be able to do that, to like just really get to those quickly. But I do notice the more that I have, the more they pop off because they're just pushing each other off of there. So I did go through and I did put these in here. I do love like the slight italic. That's the only one that doesn't fit. All the other ones do fit in here. So I'm trying to think if that was Paper Minty or I think it was Love Charmaine though. I think that's what these were. I'll check. I'll link below. And this started feeling really good. Like I feel like this just kind of fits. I have, you know, everything in here. And then I got these little transfers that go here that I thought were the cutest ever. And so it's like, I don't know if it's a little weasel or ferret or something, but I just love these. And I put these all in yesterday so that I can have like my actions and reflections for the month. Some of them have a little cracks here and there, but this started to really cheer me up. I love how these turned out. It makes it feel like I'm starting to move into here. and I think they're Midori. And I mean, it made it much more cheerful to kind of like start to bond with this book, to kind of feel a little good about it. Yeah, Penguin for July. So, and then I'm like, okay, this is feeling good. And I'm trying to figure out, well, how do I use this week? So, these are both Dandelion Diaries. I'm going to be putting in, appointments here. I need an area to just kind of brain dump, but I wanted like this side to be a bit more organized. So this would be like my weekly actions that I've been doing for Moxie Life. It has like the different colored dots that kind of categorize it all. And then I may have the brain dump here. I may have it on a later page because I want it to be somewhere where it's messy. And I've erased like stuff here a few times because it's erasable ink. So I may move this. And so I'm not sure what I would have here. Since I'm not doing dailies, I actually set up like a week here so I can kind of like go back and forth. And this may be just work tasks because I'm kind of feeling that vibe here. Any questions that pop up, maybe this is where I put my brain dump. And then I do like reflections. And so just having a bit more room to do those and then to go into the next week. So I still, I was penciling things in, trying to see. I think it's going to take January to figure this out. And that's why I wanted to show this now, was that I'm going to probably be in both for January. I was like, wait a minute. I haven't, like my health journal from Papertess, I moved into there and I figured it out really quickly. And I feel settled. Like I feel like that's working. And I'll leave a link to that. But this one and my A5, there's something unsettled. There's something I'm not figuring out quite yet. And there's times where I want to see my work stuff separate. That I want to be able to look at my personal notebook, probably my A5. And then I was like, well, could I swap them? Could this be my personal one and my A5 be business? I don't think so. I think because personal, I need to see that hourly, and I may not always make an hourly layout in this one. Because it is quite a lot to like set this all up. And that's, to me, with a family and chronic illnesses and lots of appointments. And, what I'm trying to avoid is setting up a whole lot every single week. It's one thing to just, sit down and sticker things up like I have been. But it's another thing to like set this up. It's exactly why I got the health planner, was that everything was pretty much there and I wrote things in. To me, it's like I love the monthly and this part and this part. And then what to do with these pages. I don't write enough notes, but I do have reflections. And I don't think I could take reflections and put them on every single page. I mean, like going, okay, this is my wins, like a whole page for wins, and then a whole page for what worked. Like, I think that's a little excessive. But there's something about the beginning of the week that I love. And then like that's almost enough for me. I was thinking even about just putting my week right here, and then I just have this part out. I do reflections here, and then I just don't use 1, 2 spreads. Like, it's a possibility. You have to kind of like remove yourself from the guilt of like having these unused pages. Could I remove these and stick them in? I have a personal wide I could possibly put these in. That's possible too. But I also kind of want to keep this book intact. I do save my planners because my memory is horrible. I keep my planners because I do not remember even like what year things happen in. And I go back through them sometimes and go, oh, okay, that's what happened around that time. And it's really important for me. So ADHD minds, if you can't capture all those memories very well. I do have a journal that I use every night. I have a 5-year journal that I use every night. So those two are just like a quick, at the end of the day, 10 minutes, I put those into a different place. But those are more about like, oh, this kind of happened. But sometimes I need to know, like, when did I start a project or a job, or someone in my family did, or like visits, or like, there's a whole lot more that I feel can be tracked in these. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I love this space here, like after the month of having this space and then having weeklies. And I love the fonts, and I love the size, and I really like this form factor a bit more. And then I thought, well, combining it with this though could be kind of nice. Like, there's something about maybe using the beginning of this notebook and like making business goals here, and then being able to track them here and with social media alongside this. There's something there. There's something there that I'm still trying to kind of figure out. But I wanted to just kind of share that much and just go, okay, this is as far as I got. And I love both of them. And there's going to be a point where it's possible one of them is going to take a little backseat, and I don't know. Because this, I kind of feel like it's the A5, but this layout here is just so supportive of my day-to-day. I don't think I can say goodbye to this. So that's where I'm at. Again, if you have any, and I love how this is too. And if you have ideas, I very much welcome them. Like, I'm not in school. I combine my personal stuff, my son's school in with my personal stuff, because there's a lot of like knowing when to drop them off, when the carpool is, who's picking them up, when clubs are, when days off are. Yeah. So that's why I keep seeing that in here and not so much the other one. So ideally, I would love to be very proficient with both of these. I think they can both serve. My only thing is that keeping work separate, sometimes I don't realize, like, oh, I have an appointment, and then you have to like mirror everything. And I don't really want to get to that point. This could be more of like a job log, so that if I do need to make an appointment, I put it in here. But this is just kind of recording what I've done and what my goals are, and that's what my feeling is like, this is like everything personal coming together, seeing how all the puzzle pieces fit. And this is like really recording and seeing what direction, and getting my direction, my purpose, my next projects really understood and mapped out goal-wise in here, and what systems I'm going to put in place and everything. And that's what's kind of missing here, is like, I'm trying to see which system works in what. And as I've mentioned before, I think we carry, and probably at the beginning of this video, we carry a lot of systems with us. We can change planners, but there's just something that works for us, that putting a daily list, of having a weekly list, of doing monthly things, having trackers for certain things. Like, you can go from a common planner into a Papertess, but then you still need, like, hey, I want to track the books that I'm reading. I want to track, these shows. I want to track a lot of things. You're bringing those systems with you. And hopefully they fit, right? You choose one that has all that in there. And that's what I'm trying to see. I do have a lot of systems that I didn't have last year, or there are systems in the past that I have like let go, like they just do not work. anymore. They just don't serve me, and they serve other people. Like there's nothing wrong with certain systems or not. You just resonate. You just feel that they work for you and that they have been proven to work for you. Like they feel like when you first see an idea, especially like in a Facebook group or on a YouTube video that someone is doing that you haven't tried yet, you want to try it. And I think you get pulled into that direction, and it's beautiful. It's like a lot of times it can be like, oh, this is kind of the missing piece I was looking for. And I adapted it even more to fit me. And then there's those ones that you try, and then you're like, oh, that just doesn't work for me. And in those instances, I really want to stress, it's not that there's a problem with you. It's just you're looking for the system that works for you. You're looking for the space and the paper feel and if you want pens or stickers or like some of those things are going to be priorities for you, and they're going to resonate, and they're going to allow you to focus on the tasks, focus on the progress, and focus on moving forward, and the aesthetics can do that. The purpose can do that. The meaning behind everything, the textures of things, like there's tactile sensory things going on here. Like when I feel both of these, they feel different. The form factors feel different, how heavy they are, so many different things married with like the systems that you're putting in there and the way you think about things, and whether you sit down first thing in the morning or you think about things at night, or if you check in like all day, or you just write it all down and then come and check at the end of the day. Like there's just so much variety. And I think that's what we should be celebrating this year going into 2024, and just going, there's a lot of options. There's going to be things that pop up halfway through the year that maybe would have helped me at right this point, but I didn't see them. I wasn't like, I couldn't imagine them. And something will click then, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could have seen that in January, but I don't want to have any like regrets. I'm just like, no, I saw that in July, and I'm going to start using it in July. That's exactly what happened this year. It was like, I started off with Moxie Life feeling good about it, and then something else came up, and I entered this universe. And I don't really have regrets. It just came along at that time. I have a few like in-between planners that I'm storing away, but it's not a big regret. It's no, that helped me go even deeper into know what I want to have. And sometimes those just come, those ideas, those opportunities only come when they can. So that's it. I'm just going to leave it with that. Again, I welcome any ideas. Thank you so much for all the support. I just love doing lives with you guys. And so catch those. I know the lives just don't show up as much. But if you need some inspiration, or if you need some like, just cozy talk. My last live on Sunday was very cozy. I had the whole cozy setup. So, and you'll see it again in a pre-recorded on the 24th. I'm going to keep releasing things on Sundays just because that's when I release them. But I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season. And like and subscribe on your way out, and take care, and let me know what you're stuck on in terms of systems, and maybe if you have any ideas for me. It's something I think is going to click. I feel like I'm almost there. Take care, everyone. Bye.